So in the bottom left on player 1, in the reds, we have TFJ playing Greenfinger. Just as the very standard, captures the barracks straight away, builds a sword. And in the top right, on player 2 side in the blue, we have Sedgehun playing Sedge. And they are... So they took their first turns quite quickly last time, but I am noticing they're being a little bit quicker about it this time.
I mean, over 10 seconds on the first turn, I wouldn't call that very fast. For TFJ at least.
Maybe not for TFJ, but Sedge was definitely... Took 7 seconds on his first turn. Here you see...
No, Sedge is... I mean, I guess it makes sense since this map can end on timeouts quite easily, so playing your opening fast is almost part of the map, I'd say.
And if you play this map enough, you should know how to do your early turns. And we are over a month into this tournament, so people should have experience on all of the maps to some degree.
We're seeing the quite standard opening so far, like the mage option to like capture this village and then have the commander heal from it. And then just a bunch of swords to capture stuff. Yep, we're not seeing some weird like mage to go can like sneak the corner village earlier. Which sometimes happens. It's also an option, but generally like healing your commander and getting him to the center is quite a bit more valuable. And yeah, both players are going for it, so yeah. Now it becomes quite a bit weird because like both commanders are reaching both center villages, so it can go in very different ways.
And Sedge kind of dictates which direction people are going to go in. Like, does he capture the village on the west side or the south side? Or the east side, I should say. Like, both of those are available.
Well, I'm not sure he like hard dictates what happens, but because like Greenfinger could potentially mirror what happens and like get as much out of it. But yeah, if Sedge captures the village, then Greenfinger is kind of forced to like decap one of them and then leave the other one alone. Which, I mean, I guess when the match plays out like this, you could say favors player 2 a little bit, but yeah, Sedge choosing not to give Groove to Greenfinger, which kind of makes sense because actually generally I see a knight from the middle barracks over here, like Sedge did, to kind of threaten away the commander from just hitting the village for free. And actually, Sedge kind of having a slight opening malfunction here with this sword being allowed to capture this village in enemy territory.
Sedge does have the option though of decapping that village on his side, or on I guess like TFJ's side. Like he could run up, hit it, and then capture it with his own sword. And actually the knight can decap that village and then he can capture it with his sword as well, so... It's
I
interesting.
guess it's not that big of a deal, yeah.
Oh, but this positioning from Greenfinger is very interesting, because like, let's say the knight comes and hits that village from the north, like, Greenfinger can hit the knight. Ooh, yeah, here we go.
And he's not going to be able to capture the village back, actually. Because the knight's captured from the... I mean, decapped from the top.
Sedge elects to knock down that village. He's probably going to use his sword to... Yep. Decides to capture it as well. So... Mage moves into a... I actually like that position for as vulnerable as it is to getting hit by a sword. Oh, not anymore actually. If the sword did come up though and try and hit it, like Sedge could just come and kill the sword, and you're building a lot of Sedge groove for just a bunch of damage on a mage. One really
Sedge
big
going
difference.
for thief, actually.
Oh, that's interesting, because that'll allow him to decap anything. It actually also prevents like deep village captures like this sword did earlier.
I think we're gonna see a big turn from TFJ right there. I mean, build-wise, because he's got nearly 2,000 gold there.
Oh wow. Actually, one of the big... Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say one of the big divergence in strategy is that Sedge has his tower already, whereas TFJ didn't go for it. Knight comes out.
Yeah, the knight comes out and covers the other knights, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, because otherwise Sedge could just run up and hit that knight for free. Or not not necessarily for free, but
yeah, Sedge could still like go run up and capture the next village, which is quite a big deal. Kind of wondering what TFJ is gonna do about this. I assume like with how aggressive he's been playing, we're probably gonna see like a knight or big units down there, or maybe he'll just save up a little more to have a golem next turn. Oh, okay, builds a sword. Wow.
yeah, I don't have anything against him building a sword there. Not
well,
like...
the thing is, like, he has less active units, and I guess his active units have less value than Sedge's, which can be a bit of a problem, I guess, because even though Greenfinger might try to pressure more early, he won't have the like big units to support him, and Sedge retreating actually. Surprisingly enough, not decapping that village on his way. I guess he
There's a
does
knight
put
crit
himself
available.
In knight crit, yeah. But I don't think he's in any danger, even if he gets hit by that.
In theory, if he didn't have his sides covered, there's 2 knight crits available. Oh, he does have his sides covered, but...
Yeah, I suppose, but I mean, you're still not dying from 2 knight crits. But I mean, playing very safe, I guess, and TFJ kind of gave away that mage for free, which is a bit of a blunder from his part. And now precisely like you see what I mean from by the downside of TFJ banking that much money is that well Sedge has been making a lot of knights and TFJ doesn't really have units that can deal with them for now.
Yeah,
And for
like
at least a few turns, these knights are going to wreck, like decimate everything.
that sword
I
actually could
mean,
have been a spear, the one that was built in the south just now actually, from TFJ's side, and that would have slowly come into play and been a really useful unit to have. And I like this from TFJ going north, because what that means is the thief is now bullied back a bit. It has to be a bit more cautious about moving forward. Because Sedge retreating into the center does open up the side villages if the army chases, but TFJ doesn't really fall for it and just moves his army to a position where it doesn't have to worry about that. Ooh. Uses a lot of that village health to heal one sword. But the golem does cover it, so...
yeah, the golem covers it, and he's ending his turns with quite a bit of money, which I mean I'm a bit concerned about because he's got like 600 gold right now, and I mean that's like 600 army value you're not having, and can result in quite a bit of problems. But he does have a pretty good situation on income. And actually Sedge doing a smart play here with the mage, because now that the mage is behind the village, the golem can't go there.
yeah, those two units actually can't be touched. That's some incredible positioning, actually. They look very vulnerable, but they're completely safe.
I assume Sedge is going to decap the village from the mountain, because if he does it from the top, he's putting himself into...
Oh no, he does it from the left?
Ooh.
Okay. Very
I
interesting.
guess there's only one night crit, but he's setting himself up first the round right there. That might
yes,
be
but
dangerous.
you can also just run away through the village. And he can flee to the mountain as well.
Yeah, I suppose there's nothing that can potentially capture the village, so it's fine, but I mean, still quite aggressive, and it's a bit curious because we're seeing a lot of villages not being captured at all because of how aggressive these players have been. I mean, I'm saying Sedge is setting himself up for a surround, but Greenfinger is also in some dangerous territory where like some units could like wrap up around him.
Yeah, he's sitting on 80% groove, so... But... Oh wow, another knight comes out. Yeah, he's got 4 knights around him. And yeah, Sedgehun's doing a good job keeping his... Oh, I just realized Sedge didn't care about that knight in the north with his thief. He just sent the thief straight forward.
Yeah, the knight cannot one-shot the thief, except with the crits. Like, thieves are deceptively tanky because very few things one-shot them, and usually you actually have to commit quite a bit to killing them.
There's a 1 in 11 chance it will die because it's on a road, right? Knight's 95% damage average.
Yeah, but you don't really want to go for this because the knight will get punished, and like even if you do kill the thief, the knight gets trapped because the sword can run up and capture the village. I'm wondering if we're gonna see a dragon come out, maybe.
Oh, he goes for the
Oh,
thief.
he does go for it actually.
Well, you can
Never
capture the
mind.
village and cover that knight with the other knight, so... No, this knight's gonna crit Sedge. 57? Nice chunk of damage on him. But that is gonna put him... Oh wow, Sedge is 90%.
Yeah, Sedge has been allowed to farm quite a bit of groove, which is not really the position you want to be into against Sedge. Greenfinger does have groove right now, and a golem closing in on the HQ, so he could potentially go for that. Like a Vesperish play, I guess, where you put vines around the HQ to prevent squares from being taken, and then you move them around to protect the golems once they're there.
The other option is that you just kind of create a wall using the vines. So the units like north, where Sedge is right now, can't get down to that to protect the headquarters.
Yeah, that's actually also a pretty good option, because like you're kind of only worried about the knights, and if you manage to because of that mountain and then that village, the way you can actually do it with only 2 vines maybe.
They're likely to knock the gate down.
Yeah, Merfolk's going for the gates. Another option, if you really want a rifle to come out fast, you can build a harpy, and then the harpy will be able to crit the gate from the mountain. Which, like, I'm not sure it's really viable, but if you need a rifle, I'm not sure about a situation where you would need a rifle and an archer couldn't fill that role, but
Ooh, big counter crit
it's
on the
a
knight.
potential option. Yeah. The dog goes in to make sure the knight can't be punished that heavily.
Sedgehun moves his knights down to a position where they won't get walled off with vines.
Yes. Well, TFJ ended his turn with 400 gold again. And I think he kind of needs a dragon, because if he does go for this like HQ rush idea, which like doesn't seem very likely with how Sedge is defending right now, he will need like a unit that can get there fast.
The balloon comes out. Spear can go into the balloon and get moved down to the south front if he needs to. And the balloon is also very available for that thief, so...
Yep, and it can carry the merfolk too.
I think what we're gonna see here is a whole load of vines come out.
I think maybe you actually keep the vines this turn, and like for after the golems come in. This way they're more healthy and effective.
So what I'm seeing here is I think Sedge is going to murder a whole bunch of units.
Well, Sedge has been growing like a slow and steady unit build over the turns, and like it looks like the trend is going to keep going. I guess it's just through making better plays, turn by turn.
I don't know how I feel about that village decap in the north. That knight took quite a bit of damage to do it.
Well, the knight didn't really have anywhere to run from the other knight, so I guess you might as well make it useful. I like this golem because it puts Sedge in danger if it goes in, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough to really push him back this turn. And Sedge is gonna get Groove next. What I kind of dislike about this play with the knight on the top is that you also need the sword to go for it, and that kind of opens up the thief to capture, to ransack this village, the 7 health village.
Oh, Greenfinger going very deep right now.
Yeah, and you kind of want to play Greenfinger quite aggressively. Sedge is about to get Groove, so there's only so much you can do until your headquarters is going to fall at this point. So I like what TFJ is doing. He might take quite a bit of damage on the counterattack, and well, if his swords get damaged and the village decapped, he might not have a good heal option next turn.
Okay, there was a coin flip option. Oh, that was... I said coin flip. Not really a coin flip. It's 1 in 11, you kill the sword at the south with the knight, but... No, he's just gonna deal a whole bunch of damage to Greenfinger and force him away. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't get the... like the full surround, because that is the real hard counter to Greenfinger Vines, is you just make sure he can't even put them to defend himself.
Sedge actually going downwards to kind of collapse onto Greenfinger. And there's lots and lots of swords here near this HQ, which kind of is cannon fodder at this point, but I mean, Greenfinger Groove is kind of being forced out here, and
yeah, he now has to use it defensively. And there's enough knights and swords to kind of just hack away at the vines.
Yeah.
I don't quite know how I feel about that mage being on the mountain. There is a spear crit that can land on it.
Yeah, I assume it would have been better to go around, I suppose. Well, I'm thinking the golems can do quite a bit of damage to the knights this turn. Like, I mean to one knight if he goes for it.
No,
he's going to... Yeah, he wants to heal Greenfinger.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
I mean, he could have decapped the... Actually, if he did it with the sword next to Greenfinger, he wouldn't have a spot to capture and a spot to... He doesn't actually, because he captured from the left. It's a bit It's a bit weird, but I
Yeah.
guess Greenfinger can still retreat to a safe position behind his golems.
Actually, not only is it a safe position, but it's also... Oh, okay, I would have thought you would use the other option, but... Pops his vines. He could have just gone next to his golems and not popped vines and just held them, but...
Yeah, I mean, you do have a medium groove, so you kind of want to leverage that a little bit by like having multiple ones. And I mean, you're not at full HP, so you're not really going to be able to the best extent, but it's still an option, I guess. Like generally, the ideal way you want to have it is that the vines force activity that you control, so that Greenfinger can kill more units and then get another groove right as the vines are fading away. And again, like, I mean, maybe he's gonna build a balloon or something, but TFJ is ending his turns with money in the bank. He does have an economy lead, but it doesn't really help him if he doesn't spend the money.
Okay, Sedgehun being very aggressive in the north. Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. The knight is going to be able to potentially push back this force on the north, but this turn, nothing's here to answer it.
Ooh,
Oh,
good,
actually,
nice crown on the vine.
nitrates on the vine on road is like one of the few things that can one-shot a vine. But like, Sedgehun has a pretty big unit lead because the vines do count and they are equal right now at the start of his turn. So
Oh, and TFJ has 2 more villages, so he's been trading real well in terms of unit count.
the Merfolk kind now comes into play, which I kind of like against Greenfinger because the vines cannot really run from them and you can just keep poking at them.
Yeah, and I actually realized now, he just completely abandoned killing that gate. Chose to completely ignore it. Ooh, vine goes down. He's just gonna get a free hit on the swords. From a forest with his own swords, that's good damage.
Yep, and since Greenfinger isn't healed, he's not gonna be able to get groove from all these swords this turn. And actually no mages, so the balloon is going to be able to wall pretty effectively.
Oh yeah, for someone that has a lot of mages and a commander on this front, or a lot of golems I should say, on this front, there is a distinct lack of mage to back this army up. This is actually kind of similar to the first game in a way, where Sedge has this much more mobile force with a balloon and is just swapping fronts with his army.
Well, right now Sedge is kind of seeing that the only potential play TFJ has to get to a win condition was to push for the HQ, and he's completely denying that by just collapsing all his forces over there.
Yeah, this is a big army from Sedge. There's very little that can be done against it, and oh, some of these units are getting to the point where Sedge could, in theory, line up grooves. And that's never a position you want to be in against Sedge. Okay, so he takes out one knight. And the knights are the big threat to these golems right now, aside from Sedge. They are the things that will deal damage to them. So being able
True,
to
but
land hits is
I'm
quite...
thinking maybe healing that golem would have been a better option. Because right now you're kind of asking for a Sedgegroove setup on it.
Oh yeah, I guess there is a weakened sword next to that golem, so Archer could run up, shoot that sword. Opens up two sides on the golem.
Well, I think the golem is going to die regardless because there's like the top knight that can crit it. And well, the archer and the merfolk can't reach, but there's also a second knight that could go in from the left. So that like one of the golems is probably gonna die. And still no mages from TFJ, which is a bit concerning. I mean, yeah, and now a dragon comes out from Sedgehun. He definitely knows that this is going to be a problem for TFJ.
Oh, you could even decap this village in the north. Kills that sword, so are we gonna see knight crit on this golem?
I assume you want to start with the knight crit because a regular knight hit would take more counterattack damage because of the crit condition. And I really like this dragon buy. It's probably like the best buy in this situation. Because TFJ has been going very golem heavy, and since well, it also pushes back one of that lone golem going to the north.
I like that weakening the golem with the swords as well. That was quite nice.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Maybe he's trying to set up for a kill on the other golem, although I'm not sure that's gonna happen. Ooh, that thief coming into play right now.
Yeah, that's honestly an excellent thief play. Oh, we see the balloon coming in.
Yeah, that thief is not going to die.
And I guess Sedge could move to the right of this wall. And that would be him very kind of snug. There's very little that can be done to punish him if he goes there. Oh no, Light runs back. We're probably going to see Sedge just hit this golem. And he does. And the golem is on quite a large amount of health, so...
Yeah, and Greenfinger Groove didn't really get much out of it.
Yeah, all it really
We
did was
don't
keep
really
Greenfinger
want
alive.
this to happen.
Even if Greenfinger just continues to run back, I think there's just too much here that can chase him now. Like this turn, there's enough that can just surround Greenfinger.
Well, the big threat is mostly this balloon, right?
Yeah, there is also a night crit available. It's going to take a little bit of effort to clear the vine in front. But the units are there to do it, so...
We finally see a mage.
No, the gate
And that
finally
gate
goes down.
Yeah.
He got
And
quite
well,
unlucky with the merfolk rolls actually. That was one more turn then.
yeah. But like now that the gate is down, like is rifle even a good option here? I think it's not that bad, but there's still like quite a few knights in Sedge's army, and I guess the golems can kind of deal with that, and Greenfinger Groove has a pretty good synergy with them. But once this dragon comes into play, things are going to change. And did Sedge forget to move the dragon last turn, or?
No, that was he built it at the start of the turn, I think.
Okay.
It just happened to be quite a long turn, which in this kind of situation makes sense because there is. Ooh, that golem.
Yeah, that golem is most likely going to fall. Like, the archer or the merfolk could hit it and then put it into Sedge Groove range.
I think we're gonna see. Oh, that wasn't. I was gonna say the spears could clear the vines on the right, but probably just gonna see the swords.
Ooh,
You do that instead.
look at the HP on that spear, actually.
36. Oh. Oh, 33% on the golem there. The Sedge kind of wants to clear a path. Now, oh, that dragon is just absolutely lethal in the north there.
Yep, and Sedge could potentially like block the golem's path to escape the dragon to make sure it dies.
Yeah, uses the knight to heal. Probably gonna see the dog keep the golem from hitting the knight. Oh no, just runs back to the forest. I think that golem's very dead. Okay, swords clear that vine.
Well, the golem has to run away at least. Okay. Here comes the Sedge Groove.
Here it comes again, 35% on that pike exactly, so...
Yep.
What's your step?
Actually, not the best roll on that spear, but it doesn't really matter now.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that really changes there is the counter attack damage. Just elects to hit the golem? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of at this point where his army is so much stronger that he can afford to do trades like that to kind of accelerate what's happening before TFJ can like bring rifles or another golem into play. I'm thinking maybe that hit on Greenfinger was a bit dangerous. I'm not sure. The mage could come and heal Greenfinger. And then the sword suicide, and then Greenfinger plus the golem, maybe? I mean, since the golem is damaged, it's probably not gonna work, but you never know.
That's a big risk, especially with Sedge on a mountain. I mean, I know he's damaged, but no, Greenfinger's just gonna keep running back.
Yeah, TFJ doesn't really go for these RNG lethals.
But I think he's gonna need some kind of Hail Mary play, because Greenfinger just keeps getting pushed back. And the units blocking for him are dying every single turn.
I think maybe that was in one of these situations where you go for a bad, like a not very favorable lethal because it's kind of your only way out of it.
More golems.
Yeah.
There is a night crit available on that golem though, so
Yeah, and he could also suicide the other knight if he needs more damage.
yeah. Okay, spear's gonna do a bunch of damage. This spear formation in the center is actually quite dangerous. Sedge will have to do something against it at some point.
Well, there is a dragon there, and since the mage will take one more turn to come,
He does need the dragon to deal with the golem though. Because otherwise that golem's gonna keep wreaking havoc in the north. Like, I think Sedge is in a really good position here, but there is a clock now on his ability to
ooh,
end the game. I don't know how I feel about that.
counterattack from that knight crit.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about hitting the golem with the knight. Although it does now surround the golem, so
Yeah, but you didn't really have to hit the golem for that.
yeah. I feel like he could have hit the enemy knight with his knight, and that would have been more
I mean, he
effective.
could have even used the dog to do that and have the knight go like zone the mage out or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
at this point, if he just wants to play fast, it's also viable, but it's not optimal by any means.
Who gets the golem there to 35% exactly? What you want to see happen. Knocks the village down, injures the... Oh, 35% as well.
Time to run.
Okay, Sedge getting real lucky with these rolls here.
Sedge hungers.
And yeah,
I'm
he's just gonna
thinking
surround
maybe
Greenfinger.
you groove the golem first.
I think he just wants to put
Or-
Sedge in that forest.
I'm not sure if it's the best option actually. I mean, because Sedge is not the healthiest.
He could
I mean, I
actually, he could
guess-
even just sit there and heal. Oh no, that would let
Yeah,
Greenfinger
He
escape.
could sit there and groove Greenfinger actually.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Hmm. Yeah, but it's not ideal because the golem can can destroy the village and then Greenfinger escapes.
Oh, right. yeah.
Although he can't really heal and he doesn't have that many units to hide behind. So
I mean, if Sedge just runs and hits Greenfinger, is he actually under any kind of threat of dying?
mm, well, the mage can go and heal Greenfinger and then the golem has a hit. And you know, like TFJ's has to go for it, so it's a bit risky because like high rolls could, but I mean, I think maybe potentially Sedge could die here. Although TFJ could also go for the safer play to like kill the village and then run back with Greenfinger. But at this point, like, is it even a safe play with all that's coming behind it?
You could outrun it though. I mean,
Because like you're running away, but you can't heal, and there's a Sedge Groove coming, and you're at 43% health, so you're not really safe by getting out of the surround. Because even like the archer hitting Greenfinger would put him in groove range. So I think Sedge. Ooh, TFJ not going for the lethal actually. I'm not sure I like that because like how do you survive now?
I guess you run back, heal with the... Right, kills that.
Because Greenfinger can just hit Sedge and kind of kill it now. I mean, I guess maybe not, but still would have. I mean, I didn't. Maybe he checked like the damage calculator to see like if the lethal was possible or something, but I'm just not sure about this. Like at this point, you're kind of going for a desperate win, so you might as well like try some RNG lethals. And yeah, I like the witch buy because if you're trying to fish for a Sedge lethal, witches are great for finding commander lethals.
I don't know how I feel about hitting that village with the spear. But
I mean, maybe if he high rolls, he could have taken it out with the sword, and like these units aren't really contributing that much to the win condition right now.
yeah.
So it's not that bad of an idea.
Okay, so dragon flies around, finishes the golem off. Yeah, obvious kills are coming out.
Yeah, but I mean, these units aren't really that relevant to like ending the game right now because
Yeah, I guess like now that he's neutralized the north, he can just focus on the south. He's spending a little bit of time to just like this like middle force can't really threaten HQ anymore. Nothing like that's gonna come out. Ooh, Sedgehun's back in
Sedge
heals.
going for the. I mean, it's a safe play. If you see the witch coming out and you're just saying, well, he's just trying to find a commander lethal here, so retreating and healing isn't like. I actually like it because it's a more safe approach to a game I mean, you don't like have it in the bag yet, but you're pretty favored, so I like it.
So I guess like the thing Sedge is looking to do now is just rush the center.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably gonna send dragons at the HQ or something like that. Oh, Greenfinger trapping the merfolk behind the village.
Oh, that's rough. I guess TFJ does have the time lead right now.
That's true. But he doesn't really have like the units available to like really pressure a time win, I think. Because if Sedge keeps like streamlining, I mean, I guess they're just sending dragons at the HQ isn't really an option because of that witch. Which is another thing the witch does quite well.
Yeah, it's just gonna wall dragons off from his headquarters.
When here comes the rifle, there's no balloons, so it won't be active right away. But if you're going for a time win, rifle is a pretty good option because it's just hard to approach safely into a rifle's hitting range, and it just causes a lot of trouble if you try to do so.
Okay, I like this dog hit quite a lot. Just gonna really badly injure that mage. Ooh, guess the village decap. Guess the money. Mage
That was
is
a
very,
pretty
very low.
lucky roll from the dog, actually.
I guess Sedge is now the wall for his headquarters. This position here is like very reinforced from TFJ. He's gonna have vines again soon as well, actually, so.
Yeah, but I think as Sedge, you kind of want to push for a win right there because you're behind on time.
I think he's just gonna move his entire army through the center and slam into the headquarters.
Yeah, I guess we could see that happen. Especially because TFJ has no balloons.
Yeah, he even gets the free decap on the village in the north. Yeah, Sedge just has to play very quickly and move his army to the point where it can just hit the headquarters over and over.
And I mean, we're talking of timeouts, but it's still like 6 or 7 minutes on both players. So,
Yeah. Sedge was around 5.
oh, okay. I guess like if there is one commander that can, whose groove can help you like stall a game, Greenfinger is pretty good at it.
Alright, we can see a whole bunch of vines just come up. A very awkward position.
Not sure about that Harpy, but I guess it's because TFJ doesn't really have anti-air north. I mean Sedge.
Yeah. And Sedge just burning a heal because he can.
I mean, it's not a bad option because you don't own villages nearby.
Needs to be very careful about the units positioned around Sedge as well, because Sedge could get trapped by vines. So he needs enough around him to prevent getting surrounded. This dragon needs to do something. Oh, it just sits there.
Yeah, right in front of the witch. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
You can even surround it if you really want it to die. But, I mean, reducing its health is still good. Basically crippling it. wondering if TFJ is going to go quite hard on the timeout play.
Yeah, I mean, his two options are like try and kill the headquarters. And the rifle's in a really sneaky position there where it's covering both defense and offense.
Nature will claim you.
Alright, we've got wild growth coming out.
I mean, I'm not sure if it was necessary because the rifle was covering too, but I mean, why not? And if Sedge doesn't cover the HQ, a Vine could like go there and occupy a spot. It also kind of forces Sedge into committing actions to kill the Vines.
Ooh, good aggressive play with this mage. Covering the dragons.
Yeah, nothing much able to punish it.
He just needs to continue to move his army forward and punch through what he can.
I wonder if in this situation you just like go hit Sedge or something to... Oh, yeah, I like that. Kind of what I said would happen if he doesn't cover the HQ. The Vine can go there and take the spot, and now a Golem can hit your HQ. So you really have to deal with it. You do have like archers, merfolk, and the like to, well, to safely attack the Golem and lower its HP, but it's not the best situation you want to have happening in a near timeout position. Although a knight can crit the Vine, so
Yeah, the knight being able to crit that vine is quite huge. It means you can walk back and deal with the golem.
and the rifle getting slightly more in an aggressive position. Hex comes out, which, why not? There's a lot of units here, so you're getting quite a bit of value.
Yeah, also the mage can't hit the witch in that position.
And you are hexing the balloons, so the balloons cannot wall mages even if they get hexed anymore. I mean, oh, actually, there's no witch on Sedge's side, which is a bit surprising considering he's playing Sedge, but yeah, now moving his units very fast. Oh, surrounding the witch.
Ooh, I like that actually.
Mm.
Yeah, dragon
I mean,
can come
it's-
forward, be more aggressive.
Yeah, the witch can come out, but oh, the thief right next to the HQ actually. Oh, Sedge did not see the crit on the Vine actually.
Oh,
Still going to be
he's just
able to
choosing a
kill
different
it,
option.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
And the
surprised if we
golem
just see
can't
a
really,
golem,
like,
yeah.
go to the back and hit the HQ because it'll just die if it does that.
I would have liked to have seen a trebuchet come out there instead of that golem.
Well, the trebuchet can only spawn on the other side, so
It would still cover the northern and eastern sides of that headquarters, and it would create the golem where it currently is.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, the rifle hits the mage? Good positioning.
Yep. There's starting to be not enough units around this headquarters to defend it. Which isn't ideal, to say the least. Oh, and you're gonna have to use the harpy to kill the dog too. Actually, the harpy is going to be quite instrumental in this defense because the only mage available is on 10% HP, so like any air units can basically like cover a side of the HQ and not die. Oh, but TFJ is still pushing in. Setting up a potential night crits on the HQ. It's more about the threats than the actual lethal potential, but it's going to make Sedge think about it and spend some time on it.
Okay, Sedge's just gonna get a really bad roll. But you can still clear that mage.
Yeah, but that means like yeah, you have to choose between killing the mage and hitting the HQ. I think like the defense of the HQ is probably going to be successful from TFJ. Simply because the Harpy and the Witch can cover the two most important sides. And then you'll kind of be fine. Invested quite a bit into killing the golem. And getting close to timeout actually. Yeah, this game is being very close once more.
And even gets his own witch out just in case. The hex.
It's interesting how differently like the players act in the low timer environment.
Oh, even picking off more units with the rifle. Okay, we're gonna see some turbo turns going on here.
What's your step?
I mean, both like defenses happened like quite effectively, so there's no real like HQ lethal potential anymore. So it's really going to come out to time. Which, I mean, I'm not sure if you want a Sedge groove really when... I mean, doesn't matter that much, I guess. Ooh, ending his turn on a road.
Got 22 seconds left.
Actually, is Sedge maybe dead here? He had the rifle and the merfolk. And like a regular knight hit and commander. With rifle crit, that might have been it.
Oh yeah, that was a rifle
just
crit as
prefers
well.
going for the timeout, yeah.
Going off there. Yeah, I don't really know what Sedge can do here. Running out
Yeah,
of
at this
steam.
point he's got like 7 seconds left. And TFJ building a dragon, because this way you can force Sedge to actually have to play a little bit. Which makes sense.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna see Sedge run out of time.
Yep.
Will take us to a game 3. Can he even kill Sedge here?
I mean, he can this turn, so Sedge has to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And yes, that is TFJ taking a game off Sedgehun there.
I wonder if they're still going to be up to play the third match right after this. These two like very long games. And kind of long break too.
Yeah.
But GG's to both players.
Yep, good game. We're gonna go into the third match of the set.